tell Karen, everybody's going through this. It's all part of the awakening.
It
It's
just
all part of
recorded that bit.
Aries being Aries.
It just recorded that bit, Claudio. So, yes,
Okay.
I was just saying to Claudio, oh, there's so much change going on. What's going on, Claudio?
Oh, wow. Hello, everybody. How you doing, Karen?
This is Claudio.
How's it going?
Winds of change.
Most definitely is winds of change, 100%. It's we don't get taught this in school, and all of a sudden you start waking up and feeling everything changing around you, and you don't know why. But when you can 100% show why in the stars with these perfect alignments, then there's no disputing it. As above, so below. So it's really quite invigorating.
Will everybody feel invigorated right now, though, Claudio? Will everybody be going, I'm so confused?
Right. Well, Kathy and I have already gone through the lack of knowledge feeling, right? And not knowing why it's happening. And so we've already gone through it. So, you call going down the rabbit hole, but it's actually the other way around. Well, the rabbit hole should mean a good thing. But we get to learn that we are spirits here having a human experience. That's what Karen's always taught me. Kathy always taught me when I first met her. Of course, I was more
The other K agrees as well. The other K agrees.
That's right. She's a Kathy with a C, though. But yeah, it's the changes in the sky. I mean, I've made a few videos talking about Eris, Isis, whatever, Mitecoatl, Freya, Santa Claus. They're all this luminary that everybody celebrated. And they celebrated the Easter. Our Easter celebration was a celebration to not forget what just happened.
So what's everybody going to be feeling then, Claudio? Confusion.
Everybody's going to feel pulled in different ways, because now you're being pulled. I got this story that I wrote. I'll be publishing it soon. It doesn't matter if you see it or not. My point is, it's about when Eris, the queen of the underworld, Isis, the queen of the underworld, whatever you want to call her, she goes away and comes back into our heads. So she does a cycle through the body. So depending on your chart, that's when you get more and more illuminated. Can't escape it. Nobody's exempt. This is Mama taking everybody back home.
So most people right now are going to feel confused.
Everybody's going through it. Everybody's going through it. Yes. So everybody's going through it, including all the people who think they're able to control brothers and sisters. The only people that are able to.
I found it quite a confusing time at the moment myself.
Yeah, Kathy has, myself, all kinds of neighbors, friends, all kinds of new friends coming into our lives.
It's an emotional one, though, isn't it? This one.
Well, it's because of our lack of knowledge that it's supposed to happen. If we were taught when we were 5 years old that this was coming, hey, Easter's coming. No, it comes every year. No. The Easter is here. It was here this year. This Easter here.
It's like we were talking about on a hangout the other day. The reset is you. It's all about you.
Yeah, but it's all about us. This is us reset.
Yeah, us.
This
is you.
Us.
I mean, it's us. Us then. The word us. Sorry.
Yeah.
Us.
Yes. We are now coming out of the experience of going through the dark ages, which is the most materialistic age. And we get to have that experience where you can find how can I say this? You can find a good place to go in your heart, knowing that this was just for us to experience. No matter what's happened in your life, you have to let that go and only be in the moment now going, man, I signed up for this. And you do. The Egyptians have it all laid out. I mean, the Dendra zodiac, I'm going to go through, I got a couple little screenshots I want to show you, because just talking without images is tough, right? Everybody's supposed to go through it. And it's a timed event in the Dendro zodiac. So Mama's home, Eris and the sun rose on Easter. So that's the Madonna and the Jesus. When you go look at, even in Italy, they call the Madonna di Canetto. That's a black woman with a black baby. Well, the black represents the yin, represents the aether, represents the underworld. And the underworld is a good thing. It's heaven. It's within.
In the old ways, you know, the Egyptians and that time, it was all underworld, wasn't it?
Why do you think the black hued humans, the hue of black, those humans were the most soulful? Their color of their skin made them soulful, right? So we, being white, we're more materialistic. The Caucasian, where they're more soulful. Man, they can sing. They're the best manifestors in the world. Look at them in sports. That's manifestation. So when, like Michael Jordan says it best, I know I've said this before on some of your hangouts, is he says he envisions the basketball in the shot position. He takes the shot, watches it go in, watches it swish, hears the crowd cheer before he takes the shot, because he imagines it. All the most famous sports people or creative people will tell you that they imagine it before they do it with great clarity. So you can do that in your life.
What you're saying is you need to get, even though this is happening, you need to get your head in place.
Yes.
Yeah. And accept it.
Right, because what's happening is the universe, the luminaries, they're going to give you what you want. So if you're thinking not positive thoughts, then they're going to think that's what you want. It's law of attraction. But at the end of the day, we all meet in the middle. That's the beauty part. You can't drift off on your own. It's impossible. We're collective conscious. The yin in every one of us. The yin is our charioteer. There's one charioteer that drives us all. And that charioteer is the image of the absolute. In every different religion, they'll call it something different. But religions and religious books were all books of physics equals metaphysics. And it's very so easily provable.
Some people, though, this is going to be quite a shock, isn't it?
It doesn't. It can be. It should be a good, invigorating feeling. The more and more you tune in, and the universe doesn't want you to be any of those. Not at all. The universe wants you to feel good about it. Mama's home. The story that I wrote was basically a mother who left and came back. She had 12 kids. And the 12 kids represent 12 zodiacs, because we're all part of that zodiac. And when she comes home after 500 years, I don't say that the date, but this is what's really happening. And that's the story of Santa Claus. She's now going and looking at everybody's head. She's in our pineal gland. And she's taking a look to see what we've done while she's gone. You better watch out. You better be good. She knows who's been naughty and certainly she knows who's been good and who's not been good. So she's coming in and out of our heads for the next 3 years. So every time she comes in, every year on January the 11th, so get that. How come we don't know this? Why does Eris, the one that everybody talks about, who is the Madonna?
I told you that's my youngest son's birthday, isn't it? And you said, wow, what a birthday he gets.
Right. So how could it be that she comes to the exact same, she goes direct on January the 11th of every year. There's a harmonic that goes in there that makes it the 12th, and then it goes back to the 11th. Okay, because there's always precession. It's part of the Fibonacci or golden ratio series. But so every time she comes every year, every time she comes back every year, she stays longer in her head. So kind of like a work hardening. When she goes retrograde, we got to go within. How did we do while she was in her head? Do I have my heart as light as a feather? Am I using all positive words? Because we're going back to Eden. There's no choice. We're being summoned back home. Mama's home.
You've been
she's got the slippers out. She's going to wheel at you. She's got the wooden spoon. And for those who don't want to be good, well, they're going to get challenges. I'm seeing it in people. All of a sudden, they fall off their bike, break an arm, this, that. These are all things to try to wake us up. Now, you need to be brave, right? Because if you're brave, then things will be just beautiful. Instead of a broken arm, which will be in your chart, by the way, instead of a broken arm, you may bump your elbow as a reminder. It happens to me all the time. I don't want to say what I always use as an example because every time I say it, it happens to me. And I'm trying not to think of it either because I know I'll do it. I'll say it. Okay, every time I say, if I say I want to bump my toe, or if I say I don't want to bump my toe, the don't doesn't count. All the universe heard was bump my toe. So later on today, I know I will bump my toe. That's law of attraction because I willed it into my life.
Yeah, you've been telling me off a bit about some of the words that I'm using, aren't you?
I'm sharing with love.
Claudia?
I'm not telling you. I'm sharing with love.
It's giving me love. You've been giving me love.
That's right. And that's what helps. Kathy's been praying for you.
Change the words. You could say, oh, Claudio's having a go at me and I don't understand it. Or Claudio's giving me love. And once you wake up and realize these things, your life changes.
Right. And everybody, there's so many millions and millions. It's probably closer to hundreds of millions now that are already doing the exact same thing. And know that we are increasing in numbers. We are all waking up. We're going over the hill. It's I don't know how I can just blurt it all out, no pictures, no nothing, so it can sync with people,
Yeah, you like your little pictures, don't you, Claudio? Oh, have we lost you? We lost Claudio for a second. Now we've got 2 Claudios and 2 Karens.
Oh, wow, what happened there?
Because you've come back, the other one hasn't logged off yet. But
can you kick that one off?
No, it will go. It's no problem. It's no problem to our hangout.
Okay.
So it depends which way you look at it. So if you're negative through this, what's going to happen?
If you're not positive.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
Right. And only because that word has the wrong understanding, because it really is a good word, but everybody associates it with a not good word. So, because positive is expansion and negative is going in, which is where we're all going to go, right? That's our destiny,
This change is going to be bigger for some people than it is for others, isn't it, though, Claudio?
Temporarily.
If you go with the ride, then it's probably all, you're just going with the flow. But if you fight it or go against it.
Yeah, you got to go with the flow. It's like trying to swim against a river that's
happening whether you like it or not.
miles an hour. Yes.
Whether 100%. You like it or not, it's happening.
Right. And if need be, then you come back and try again. But you'll be born into an age that is better each time. And depending how good you are, and you can, there is no limit. Oh man, my life wasn't that great up until now and I'm changing. Well, that's okay. That works. There is always time to change.
Well, you've just got to be aware that it is changing.
Right. And why? It's not random. It's not coincidence. It's 100% explainable. There is no coincidences in life. None.
Just asking at this moment, we can obviously ask the chat room, who feels they're going through a change at the moment? It's all good and it's meant to be.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm ask the chat room that hopefully then whoever's in the chat room will write down, oh yeah, I feel that this is happening and so forth. Yeah.
Yeah. If you can, if you really, really need more answers, then you should study your natal chart. I'll say it now that you can go to iyoutome.com/arahant, ARAHANT. And there's a document there to get you started. And it shares knowledge that I've acquired. So like saying we've acquired, because we only get our information from the collective consciousness. I like calling it that because people like that word, but it's really our yin. our charioteer. We can only get the knowledge from there. When people want to, you know,
Does
have
this
the
all need, does this all need to happen?
I word, it doesn't work.
Does this all need to happen because the people are waking up anyway?
You know, it's part of our destiny. It's written. The fall of Babylon's happening. That's on the Dendra zodiac. The lunar and solar eclipse we just had. When you look at the ancient wheel, the fall of Babylon is now. So the people who thought they were in control are no longer in control. So when they say end of the world, end of an era, you know, most people understand, oh, no, we understand it's just a change in the calendar, right? And it is truth. It's just a change in a time. It's part of our lesson. We're now moving on with this journey. Thank God we're out of the dark ages. So now it's time to invigorate each other, show each other with the most love you possibly can, and you will attract all those people together. The good outweigh the not good in great proportions. It has to be that way. It can't be any other way, or else we'd have NASA's random expanse explosion. Then we would not be here, you know, more than 10 years. So
what's
no.
everybody? So if you get to this point, you're just going to feel confused and not know what's going on and go in yourself.
Well, no. If you feel like you are lacking knowledge and you're not sure which way to go, just hang out with people who just want to help. Hang out with people that are loving and caring. You'll get cleansed.
Hey, hence why I'm having this hangout with you, Claudio.
Well, there's a reason for everything, but it's all us. We're supposed to do this, Karen. You and I are supposed to do this and share this.
And then we're supposed to tell people.
Right. And it just helps the process. It can't be any other way. I know I keep saying that, but it's undeniable. I wish I could just show everything right away, the things that I've studied for the last 5-6 years, and just show everybody right away all the proof. I'm trying to do that in bits and pieces, right? And I have no motivation other than to help people. Nothing to do with anything else, because money is going to disappear. The fact that you can see that the countries are all giving out money like crazy. That's part of the process. They're eliminating all the non-essentials. That's the angels doing that. Man is being controlled by the charioteer. Man, woman, children, everybody. My grandson, I can see his yin. That's why there's the terrible 2s and trying 3s, because they're still more spirit than they are material. You follow the Dendra zodiac and you can see when the change is.
Yeah, you were saying something to me that some people, they might be going from the spirit world to the material world all the time, and this is what's causing their confusion.
If they're not realizing it, yes. And some people call that bipolar. Well, no, that bipolar means you're in and out of the water. 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on the land. 1 foot in the ether, 1 foot on earth. Ether and earth are really the same word, right?
Labeled with all the wrong things and making it look like we're ill when we're not.
Ether and earth. Well, that's just the man and a woman that wants to capitalize off of something that they know is happening. The billionaires follow astrology. You're gonna cleanse regardless, so they're gonna sell you something while you're cleansing. You didn't even need it anyway, because you're gonna cleanse on your own. If you want to help your cleanse, you revert to Mother Nature, like the last video I just did. For people that are concerned about catching a virus, which there's no such thing as a virus. Virus means cleanse. When you do the etymology of virus, means cleanse, and corona means top chakra. Well, mama's in our corona, so it's so blatantly obvious. So all you have to do is rely on mama. Mama will heal you. Mother Nature will heal you. Grab some pine cones, start breathing those in, drop a nice sappy pine cone in some boiling water, put a towel over your head slowly, start breathing that in. And you know, the pine cone pineal, well, it helps the lungs like crazy.
I've got that video uploaded, waiting to go on, the one you asked me to mirror.
Okay.
I've got.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you, because
Thank you.
I'm not looking for hits, viewers, friends, subscribers. That's not my intention. My intention is to get the word out. That's it. That's it. My channel is not. Yeah, it's
Yeah, you're a
that's
nice
all.
man, you are, Claudio.
I just yeah, I'm good. Every time we fall short of having abundance, something happens. Something's always happening to us, so we don't fall short of abundance. With all the things that have happened in our life and how the tables turn, it's just to wake you up. All the things that have happened in my life, I can reflect back and go, oh, I get it. I get it. I could have avoided those though, because we're still in a labyrinth. You still
It's
can choose
always
to go right or
easier
left.
retrospect, though, isn't it? It's always easy to think, well, if I hadn't done that, etc., etc.
Right.
You've only got the past to go on, haven't you? Then
Well, here's what I've learned. If there was something that you did that was not good, that could mean karma for you for next life or whatever, you have to go back and replay the scene in your mind. And how would you have done it? And that's how then you just release it. So what I say by release it means anytime that image comes to your head of what you did that was not good, you think the same story that you already repainted. No, 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 no. I loved that guy. We got to be friends, and what you're saying never happened. When you do that, you've learned your lesson. Okay, you get it. You now know what you should have done. You're making your heart more towards of the weight of a feather. You can see in the Egyptian glyphs, you're standing in line like the Akashic records. You're coming back, and before you either going to come back down here or you're going to ascend, depending on the weight of your heart. So you can fix all those images by going replaying them, re-recording them, restaging them, reacting them, however you want to put it, however you want to say it. It's a beautiful thing. That's how you get the so-called biblical forgiveness. Go to confession. No, you have to, don't confess it. If you're confessing those words and you're telling people the stories, you're reliving it. You have to say, no, no. When that thought comes to my mind, in company or anywhere, no matter what, sleeping, whatever, dreaming, wake up, say, no, that's not how I do it. That's not how I do it. And you go back and you change that image. Fix it. Fix the image. You're a God. There's a Godhead and you're a God. We're gods in training. How would you do it now? Because you can't be a God if your heart's not as light as a feather. You can't be. So we can still do that. We have the ability to create with images. All we are is a sack of images in our head. Fix those images and you will feel better and invigorated.
this is for everybody who's feeling quite confused at the moment and doesn't know why.
Yes.
You're being given stuff to sort out, and now is the time to do it and not take it with you.
Right. Spend the time. Go look out at nature. Go to spirit-animals.com. If a fly lands on you, they're trying to give you a message. Go look up fly meaning. I like that one because there's a random
What does
box.
that mean? Yesterday there was a fly and it was flying into me. It was so annoying. I was like, go away. What does that
No,
mean?
no, 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 no. Okay. Okay. Well, they got, no, 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 no. He's trying to give you a message. You can get message in so many forms.
It was
So
bombarding me. The fly was bombarding me.
yes. Okay. So you go to spirit-animals.com, you go to search bar. I'm going to type in fly. Uh, wish I knew who created this website because they're awesome. There is a random box that comes up, which is beautiful because that random box will give you messages that are different every time. That allows the spirit to give you the one that fits for you. Okay, Karen, here's what fly means. Reevaluate your thoughts about yourself. You are far worth more than you think. How do you like that, Karen? Is that pretty fitting?
Oh, thank you, Claudio. Thank you so much.
See, the fly is telling you. So we're supposed to leave the flies alone. They will leave when it's their time. If they get the message to you next time you open the front door, they go out. They're just trying to get your attention. The next time a bird flies by in front of your car, if he's really close to your car, he's telling you to slow down. I've had all these experiences. Once you tune in, it's so invigorating. They're all there as your guides. Now, whether they're each their own spirit, I've heard that each animal, each insect, each anything, each fish, each group of everything is one spirit. So they communicate no matter where you go. It's funny when we go from one place to the next, the same type birds show up and start squawking.
Yeah, I suppose they're a lot more intuitive than we are, aren't they? These animals, they live by their senses and everything. They're much more here and now than we are. You know, that's
Right.
probably why we get run over,
Their
because
spirit.
we're thinking about something completely different and stood in the road. We're not connected to ourselves in the first place, are we? Well, most people aren't.
Right. Exactly.
They're not. They're not. And unfortunately, if you're taking antidepressants, that will stop you connecting to yourself. These things stop you. Got so
Right.
many things
There's
stopping you.
there's so many people that I mean, everybody should go slowly if you're ever going to try to do something more natural. Like I've gotten so many people sharing success stories with using magic mushroom, microdosing. So many people can get off of their
You've also
antidepressants.
told me, haven't you, that a lot of people are taking synthetic things which are not very good for your body, whether it's a medication or a drug. But
Right.
you could give them cannabis oil that you make, which is a
Cannabis oil.
natural.
Right. Cannabis oil is definitely good for you. The magic mushrooms are definitely good for you. They will lift your spirit in a good way. In a good way. Where the other ones have profit attached to them. So you can't have profit in alchemy. If there's profit, that means they're not doing it right. Especially now if they're manufacturing it, synthesizing it, they're processing it. Well, that becomes inorganic and it doesn't have the right vibe with your body. So although there is something there because somebody has a good intention somewhere in there, maybe somebody in a lab is saying, I want these people to heal. So there's going to be some goodness in there, but it won't be the same as Mother Nature's medicine. But I don't want to call it medicine. It's Mother Nature's vibration that hits you in the right spot to vibrate you back to health, like the pine cone, like cannabis. It's pretty funny how just before we go for this whole thing, everything gets legalized. Who do you think did that? Man? No, the angels did that. It's all lining up. They're giving us everything we need. It's like we've been taking everything away, part of an experience, planned. We signed up for it before we came down into this realm, came out, I should say, expanded, emanated into this world realm, manifest. So now we have all this from them as support. You can't say, well, you didn't try to help me. Well, no, pay attention. Pay attention. We have a beautiful friend that says, Claudio, yeah, I see you're getting all these signs. He says, I wish I could get some signs. And I said, okay, well, don't worry, they'll come to you. And then the next night, we were in Aruba. Next night, she goes, somehow we were talking about cats. She goes, I don't understand my cat. My cat sits on my lap and sits on my lap facing me with its face in my face. I try to look around, look at the TV, and the cat moves its head to keep in my face. And she keeps going in my face, and she keeps going in my face. I can't even look around her. I said, well, if that's not a sign, what is? She's saying, hey, wake up. Wake up. We're not in tune with it. Why? Because our heads are full of thoughts that aren't in the moment. So go outside, get into nature, take a deep breath. Do not let any image come into your brain except for what your eyes see. Because every other image that you're thinking about in the future, in the past, isn't now. There's no such thing as time. Ken Wheeler's proven it. There's only now. Everything else we hang on to. Whether we worry, we start overthinking it for the future and overthinking our past, and we're not in the moment. If you can get to that moment, you're going to start seeing these signs. And they're going to go, oh, there's my guidance. They're giving me guidance. It's invigorating. It's crazy invigorating. And it's so simple. I'm actually feeling like I have those feelings of when I walk outside when I was 10 years old and not a care in the world. And if somebody will say, well, yeah,
Yeah, this
well,
isn't, we're not talking of an ego trip here, are we, by the way? It's not with your
no,
ego,
no, hell no.
your
It's
heart and your soul.
far from that. It's loving heart. heartfelt, beautiful emotions that you connect with source. I want to pull up something. Hang on a second.
So they've made us like we've got all those medications and drugs to take now, haven't we? We've got all these other layers of things rather than being with yourself. Right, I'll put the picture up. Hang on.
Yeah.
There you go. It's up, Claudio.
So this is part of that document. So I just want to share this. There's two images there, right? You notice the one on the left that is really like the horse wants to jump away. And you can see there's a white and a black horse. The white light is manifest. It's where we're at. The black is the yin. That's the image of the absolute. I'll get into that in a second. But the one on the left, you see the reins are taut. That's what's happening right now with all the control freak mongers around. With all the lost souls, brothers and sisters around the world who think they can control us. This is what's happening to them now. They're slowly making everything come back to a beautiful, beautiful setting for this next phase of our journey. The one on the right has a guide. That's an Arahant guide. And then you got the cat. That's why the Egyptians wanted the cats. The cats are so much more yin than a dog is more yang. That's why this dog's man's best friend. The dog will take you through the materialistic world and give you guidance, whereas the cat will always come around during spiritual moments. We have discussions.
We quite poo-poo these things, don't we, though, Claudio, in a way? Like, we don't realise how important these things are in our life, whether,
right.
the animal side.
Right, exactly. So right now, this is happening. There's two, it happens all the time, but right now, the one on the right is being lit up again. That's what's happening right now. And so the one on the left becomes more evident because the charioteer is going to control the Trumps, the Putins, everybody, because they're coming out of the dark ages. So we are left, mama left. And what happens when mom leaves, right? Kids get out of control, right? Well, she's back. And she's pulling on the reins. And she's directing this where to go. So if you have knowledge of this, if you breathe and you take in what they're giving you, go outside, look at the stars, look at the moon, look at the sun, say, give me guidance. I love you. I'm trying to understand I'm trying to gain knowledge of what's happening. Please give me guidance. I love everybody. I love everything. I know we're all connected, and I know everybody is going to come to meet together once again for one love, because it's our ascension into back to Eden. And what that means is Eden means back to one love. I can get so much deeper into that on how that path has to go, but there's no choice. We have to.
Was the 60s the last time this happened then, or is it happening all the time? I remember you talking about the 60s and all the messages that were really coming out that maybe we didn't hear or see. Is that the last time it happened, or is that one of the times it happened?
Well, as far as we know, one cycle around the Dendra zodiac with precession is 26,000 years. So every time we go through one cycle.
So this is the Christ then, if you wake up.
Well, the Christ within is being lit up, yes. We all are Jesus. We all are Christ. We're gods. G-O-D is a symbol of magnetism. 609, G-O-D, the symbol of Cancer, the symbol of manifest, magnetic fields. Every atom is a magnetic field.
Do you know what? The one thing that people, they might think they might not like what I say, but I remember reading this book quite a few years ago by a medium, and it was called Winds of Change. And I know churches don't like that side of astrology, but what they were saying was that Jesus had come so we could be more like him, not so that we couldn't be like him. It was so we could be in our minds, we're talking about the Christ bit. And people don't understand it. In churches, you can't touch him, but we're supposed to be more like him. That was the point. Everything has been misunderstood.
Right. That's all it is. It's okay. And I've said this, well, I probably only said it to you in private, but the, oh, I just lost my thought. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, the Christ within the churches, that's what it was. If you don't have the premise of how physics equals metaphysics and how we're here for a lesson, and if you deny the ether, if you deny God, if you deny any of those things and you don't understand the whole cycle of the Dendra Zodiac and the stuff that Ken Wheeler teaches, and you go and try to interpret ancient texts, you're not going to do it right. And if there was some people with greed in there to make sure they add, they add stuff about paying taxes in a Bible. Yeah. Oh yeah. God, I'm sure God did that. Right. But again,
So,
there's a God.
Claudio, what? So basically, I'm just a human being, and something's confused. Tell people what's probably happening to them right now.
Well, right now,
What they're going to be feeling.
Right. Everybody is going to cleanse. And that means a physical and metaphysical cleanse. If you are clean eating, you eat organic, you're one with nature, you're more towards the green shift, more towards, being balanced, and have a very good way of knowing when you should go blue shift and when not to be too red shifted, materialistic, not good, then your cleanses will be very minimal. If you're full of chemicals, if your thoughts are not good, you're going to cleanse both materialistically and physically. Sorry, physically and metaphysically, spiritually. So before your cleanse comes in your chart, start working on it now. That's all the luminaries want. And that's why Mama comes in and out. She just doesn't come into Aries and start just freaking, I'm going to freaking take this place down. No. She's our mother. She loves us. Right? When they talk about God and the man in the clouds, it doesn't fit with us. It's kind of, okay, the dad's going to protect us, but he provides us with money. That's in a materialistic world. No, it's the love of the mother. That's the one you got to hang on to. There is no sex once we go back to the ether or heaven or whatever. But right now, that's that feeling of love. And you want to call that the mother, that's fine. So she's here and she's not coming in one time. She's coming in and out to give us the chance to kind of like I said, work hard on us. Pull us a little bit, bring us back.
What
Pull
about
us a
those
little bit
that are
more.
panicking? What about those that are panicking about it, Claudio?
For those who are not being
It,
brave,
but don't understand it.
for those that need more bravery, the only thing you can do is just start connecting. Just start connecting. Read. Like Kathy reads a whole bunch of spiritual, good people out there. You'll be drawn to it, and you'll know. And if you ever have any questions, is this right? Ask. And if somebody says, well, Claudia, you're not all-knowing, and no, I'm not all-knowing. I'm 100% not all-knowing. But when you have the premise in your hands, you can sift through the muddy waters a lot easier. And I'm learning every day. And guess what? I'm not thinking about it. I'm being told about it. I have videos pop up and all kinds of things that are the right ones. Coincidence? Absolutely not, because I asked for guidance and I'm connected and I'm tuning in. And every one of us get to do that, because the thing that I'm tuning into is in you. It's in every one of us. It's in every single one of us, exactly the same. That's the yin. That's the charioteer.
Is that also why we connect to certain people and not others?
Right, because it's not time for you to connect with them, because it's like two magnets. If you put them together, they want to stick one way and the other way they don't, right? One wants to go to counter space, one wants to go to the ether. They come together. So if getting back to your other question, if you lack bravery, Just keep jumping in and ask for guidance. It'll show up. It'll show up in numbers. It'll show up in clouds. It'll show up your ears ringing. My ears ring when I know I have to go do something. I know I either got to go outside, I either got to look at my charts, and I see something. I pay attention to those signs. We think our ears are ringing because something's not right. No, 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 no. They're just trying to wake us up. Trying to get us to pay attention. Look what's happening around the world. Come on, the whole world's shut down. Who did that, man? No, the angels did. How we're handling it is not right. If we were taught about this event, we would have been getting ready 10 years ago, 100 years ago. Well, we started getting ready. That's why we celebrate all these events called Christmas, right? New Year's Day and Christmas are the same day. It's just they shifted the date because of precession. There's so much beauty in these dates that we've preserved.
What it is it goes back to your other hangout. You know, if you understand you're a human and the common law, or you're a mister or a person or a corporation, if you're going to live that way, it's going to be different. But if you start waking up, you start learning and seeing things differently, it changes you, doesn't it?
Right. All those laws are going away. All those illegal for-profit laws will be going away. And we'll be left with common law. Ken Wheeler says this. I know I talk a lot about Ken Wheeler because he says so many things which make so much sense. When you dial 911, by the time the police get there, it's already over. So the police aren't changing anything from happening. What's supposed to happen to you is going to happen to you. And some people get things happen that aren't as good as others because they're not in tune. And those things are just to wake you up.
So basically, you embrace it all, take it in, and then let it go.
You watch how fast it's going to come, because when I started, it was before Eris was in our heads. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like, wow, can't believe. And Kathy's going through the same thing now. All these things she's experiencing and these animals, encounters, and beautiful things that are happening are just incredible. We're in a time of our life right now that we couldn't even dream possible. We only dreamt about them when we were a kid, about Santa Claus coming every Christmas. Well, this is the Santa Claus is finally here now. The real Santa. Santa means saint. Claus means claustrum. The saint is back in our claustrum, our head. Do you see it? It's there. The saint is back. Mama is back. Every religion talks about this. She comes around every, 650, 50 years per zodiac sign, like 600 years, roughly. She goes around. So it's like four cycles per age. 4 cycles per age she goes around.
Don't feel negative, feel positive that this change is here for a good reason. And it's to get rid of some of your baggage.
100%. You need to start everything you do, everything you say, everything you imagine. Don't let any images into your brain unless it's one of love, so that your heart always remains as light as a feather.
So basically reprogramming yourself, really, Claudio, to what you think.
Yes.
We're full of garbage now, and we need to let the garbage out.
Yeah, get rid of the not good images that don't serve you in your mind. And if they're one of yours, of something you did, replay it in your mind and how you would have done it the right way and how beautiful your relationship with that person, animal, fish, whatever everything is. It's a good time to say, the animals are getting lit up too right now. I can get cats to come to me without even knowing the cat and without even looking at them. I just imagine them coming over to me, lying down, giving their belly. And people that say, that cat never comes near anybody. And I'm sitting there at their house, and all of a sudden a cat comes down next to me and rolls on its back, gives me its belly. Why? Because I showed the animal my images. I just thought about them and watched them walk in my mind towards me and light over. They can see that. Well, that's getting more and more. So the animals are getting lit up too. Well, you're going to see some amazing animal encounters, some good and some not so good. So I've been telling people I've got one fisherman who didn't really understand why he was a fisherman and why he wanted to go after a certain type of fish. But now he realizes he no longer fishes. I'm telling people that don't do good to animals, insects, reptiles, whatever, it's probably time to stop now. It's time to stop. It really, really is time to stop. We just had over Buddy's house, he was telling us down his channel.
Claudia, sometimes you end up doing things. Sometimes they're handed down from families before, and you carry on doing them, and you don't even know why you're doing them. You're just doing them because, oh, well, my dad used to do that, and then
right.
So this right now is an extremely big wake up and rethink for everybody, isn't it?
Yes, it's all about going back to one love. We had the spark in the 60s and 70s. And now this is the flame. This is the flame. No ifs, ands, or buts. You're going to watch. And you can mark these words every day.
So we can change the world by how we think anyway, then, can't we, Claudio?
Yeah, well, it's like this. The wave is going that way to the middle. The wave is heading to the middle. You can choose to jump on that wave or not. It's going to be a rough ride, a not good ride if you choose to go on. No, I'm sticking with taking everybody's money. I don't care. Well, that's between you and mama. We don't have to try to go, and all we need to do is share truth. We don't have to in any way do anything physical. Mama's going to take care of that. But share truth and heal yourself and heal others. That's all she wants, because again, it goes back to the heart. Your heart's got to be as light as a feather. And the quicker you do that, the quicker your ride will become much smoother. That's what they want. And they protect you. Like, we have these birds and insects while we're in the car. It's almost like they're checking tabs. Hey, okay, we got them over here. Oh, we got them over there. Some people drive and they always get cut off and they get slowed down and everything else. I drive now and it's like the waters are parted. Because I guess I know when I'm supposed to leave the house, and I leave the house, and you pull up and it's like, more often than not, somebody pulls out of the first parking spot right when I get there, when I go to Walmart or whatever. So all these signs, it's like, oh, they're so invigorating. That doesn't mean, well, no, there's not enough first spots for everybody, but that's not the point. The point is that you are aware that somebody is got your back. We always thought that somebody else had our back, but we didn't know who it really was.
One of the things, though, Claudio, is that you've got to learn to be responsible for yourself. And the way that society has gone right now, a lot of people don't realise and blame everybody else for their problems. But actually, you are responsible for yourself. Once you get that, that also helps rather a lot.
100%. 100%. So I just want to touch on this a little bit, Karen. So I'm not going to get into how you make the 011, but if you wrap the golden ratio series, just taking the last digit and wrap it around the circle. I know you've seen this before, Karen. You get the pattern. You get four zeros, right? I don't know if you can see these or not, but you get 4 zeros making the cross. You get the swastika. You get everything. Your whole life path is in here.
Just asking you, I was watching something completely different, but I made a video yesterday. Someone who sent it to me and asked me to look at Berlin's Olympics, which actually a lot of people were, if you believe history, were thinking of not going to it because Hitler had taken over, and it was like the whole ceremony, even though it was supposed to be an Olympics, was very military, and all the flags flying has swastikas on them.
That's right.
The swastika, but the swastika isn't a bad thing; it's a good thing.
the swastika is a good thing. It's a key to this, what I'm showing you. I'm going to show
So
you
what
this.
do you think his message was then? If he was
No,
all his flags?
no.
That's what
If you want to fool people, you got to make them think that you're one of them.
Right. Okay.
It's that simple. These are profit mongers that are paid by the banks to fool people, and the only way you're going to fool them is tell them the truth and lie. So Mama's taking care of those people. Trust me. They're still not telling the truth completely. I don't watch the news. Kathy and I haven't watched TV in probably 3 years now. We're not going to allow those images to get into our head. I want to know what's going on in the world, around the world. Well, your world is what you see. What you let in is how you will feel. So only bring love there. Your whole world will change if you only let love in and goodness in. You'll get tested, but those tests are in your chart. But those tests mean you deal with it with love. So right here is 011. There's your Trinity. And what I mean by Trinity, people call that the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
That's quite amazing, actually, because in astrology, that's where your chart starts, your rising sign, isn't it?
That's the Aries.
Like with, yeah.
Yes, Aries rising. That's why the 0 starts right there. 0, 1, 1. This is your age. This is 60 years. Okay. It's also the precession of every age. Everything is based on these numbers. And I can show you. But before I get there, the first 0 is the absolute. That's the Godhead. That's the ether. This one, okay, so we all know what just so I pull this up really quick, we all know what the Fibonacci spiral is, right? Everything in nature, every single thing in nature goes off of these.
You've gone blank. You've gone, the whole screen's blank. Oh,
okay,
yeah.
So is it back?
Yeah, you're back now.
Okay, hang on, I'm going to copy and paste this image over because it didn't allow me to switch screens. Hang on. Copy, and then I'll just delete it. Come on, you. Okay, you see that?
Yep.
Okay, so everything in nature is the golden racial spiral. It's Plato's divided line. It's theory of incommensurability. Everything goes this way. Tornadoes, hurricanes, every plant, your eyes are based on it. Every part of your body is in this ratio. Okay? And that ratio starts from 0 and then it grows upward in a spiral. And that's what these numbers depict, except you're only using the last digit, which becomes the key, which is something that got lost somehow. So the 0 is the ether, it's heaven. This is the all, it's the no thing. No thing exists there. It's unmanifest. The first one is the image of the absolute. This is the black. This is the yin. Okay, this is the image of the absolute. This is the one. This is materialistic. This is the yang. This is us in manifest. So this is the Trinity, 011. It's so simple you can teach a child. This is where we're going back to. We're going back to the 0. That's Eden. That's our path down to Eden. So in reality, we have to go backwards in this chart, which is what the ages does. The ages brings us backwards in time and counting to bring us back to Eden. So someday there's just going to be 2 in the garden, and they're not going to.
You can see why they set a whole plan out.
What's that?
Well, you can see why they set a whole plan out to, like in a sense, like not so many people are into crystals, which would have been a good thing because hippies like them, or there's that tang on it, yeah. And they've done the same with astrology. Oh, you don't want to listen to astrology; it's a load of rubbish. But it isn't.
Right? No, it's not. Astrology is metaphysics and physics. The Bible is an astrology book, physics and metaphysics book. There's beautiful people out there. There's a couple other sisters that I'm following, but Lavette is one of them, and she goes and shows you astrology versus the Bible. She's so awesome. Learning a lot from her. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. She is just absolutely amazing. Everybody's trying to uncover all the reality of the mistranslation. I take what she does and I stick it with a dendra. I gotta take this dendra image and copy it over. Just 1 second. Okay, so now here's the 011 again. See it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can see this is Aries down here, just like in the previous chart. This is the Dendra zodiac. This is in Egypt, Dendra, Egypt. This is a concrete structure and a ceiling. This depicts that walk of life with meaning to it. So I'm going to show you right here. If you can see, for some reason it doesn't want to zoom anymore. Can you see, how can I do this? I'm going to use a text shape here. Bear with me for 1 second, okay?
Yeah, so Claudio's trying to show us where we're supposed to be. On you, Claudio.
Yeah. So let me bring this down. So this way you guys can just see what I'm pointing to. I am going to make a video about this, but there's just a few things more that I want to add. So if you can see right here, at the 0 point, this is a body without a head. This is where your embodiment happens. It's all based on, and you can see here, where you have triangulum, which is the baboon, the goat on his back, and the falcon. All right, and this is the eye of Horus. So this is where your pineal gets embedded into the body. Don't think of it physically because it's all metaphysically. We're just vibrations, right? So here is where that happens. Well, down over here, this is where our solar and lunar eclipse landed. They have this beautiful mark here that landed there. Or look at that, and the solar one landed where this star is at. The sun is translating this tropical form of, this is the fingerprint of our existence, everybody's existence together. The sun is transiting this 369. There's the secret of the 369. There's the snake. Look at the vibration on top of the box. Orion's foot is sitting on top of it. Orion's foot is over on this mark, and his staff is measuring this 5. All these numbers are important. Well, the sun is transiting this portion right now. People are saying the Schumann resonance is going up. We're all being lit up. This swinging by this is giving us huge energies. So when you see these stars that I have, all these stars, they're kind of shaded right now. Those all line up. These are from Ptolemy. Claudius told me. I plotted them on here. Look where Sirius is. Sirius is at the 0 point, the galactic equator, which is the domain of Horus. Everything is on here of our life path. We're decoding it. It's incredible. So this represents Osiris dies on a winter solstice. So this is 9 zodiacs around. So this is the point where we come back in for our embodiment. You can see, and I know I'm going through this quickly, and I'm gonna make this into a video where I can try to explain a little better. So what happens here is everything happens for a reason. If you can see, I can't zoom anymore, but there's a little guy here holding like a little baby, a pineal gland. I zoomed in on it over here. That's called capella. Capella means head. Cap. Capella has meaning of being a hat or a head. So that's getting ready for the embodiment. Look at Taurus. Taurus is looking there. And so is the goat, which this in the constellation Auriga is the goat. And there is the goat sitting on the back of the baboon, staring backwards, because that represents the yin. So this capella represents the yin, your third eye, getting ready for embodiment. And right here, right on the 0 line, is showing the Trinity, the falcon, the baboon, and the goat. So this Dendra zodiac is crazy full of things that happen. You take different ages. Here, right here, you see this circle with a whole bunch of people look like they're sitting bound on their knees. This is when different things happen to us when we're a child. Before we hit the age of 10, there you go. You went from 1 through 9. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the 4. That's the first time a 4 comes in. 4 is the cross. 4 is materialistic, so to speak, as part of the cross. I know 6 means it too, but there's a different, the box, right? So there is so much in here. When you come down over to here, at this age here, sorry, so this is 10, 11, 12, 13. Between 13 and 14, there's another lit up sun here. Well, I'm pretty sure it's the Jewish. There's certain religion, races, whatever, that celebrate when you turn between 12, 13, 14, because you're becoming more materialistic. If we were taught this path when we were young, we know what the changes happen to our body, the puberty and everything else that happens. Because here's where we're going to be able to start procreating. But we're not procreating properly. And that gets back to a whole discussion. I'm going back to Eden. So I could talk a little bit more about this. I'm going to stop because I'm probably going too fast. But just know that this whole life...
It's quite a lot of information, Claudio. We've been going for nearly an hour or an hour.
Already, wow. Okay. So yeah. So just know that it's in here. It's not coincidence. The 60 repeating numbers, which is the Da Vinci's code, which is the universal key, fits on the dendra like a glove. So I'll just leave that. Know that this is planned for us. There is a bright future for us. All we got to do is jump in. The water's warm. I'll leave it at that.
So to people, though, you're going through the change as well, aren't you?
We are. We all are.
You are. I am.
Everyone. 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 It's for the people who are trying to not let this in, are the ones that are going to have not an easy time. But know that you have no choice. You got to let it in. You got to let it in, or we're infinite. So it doesn't really matter. That's why you miss people when they leave this life, but know that they're still the same one of us, and that their materialistic self has to come back and try again. Lesson wasn't completed. You got to repeat the grade. So school's going to be different. Everything's going to be different now. It can't be any other way. We've always had sparks and little jumps trying to move forward, but that was during the dark ages. This is different now. This is different now. That's why there's so much confusion with all the religions, because they're all different. They didn't translate them correctly. This is the truth.
But they lied in there anyway, didn't they, with religion?
It's not their fault. There's a lot of good brothers and sisters out there that tried sharing the truth, but we were all too dense to think about it. Get away with that baloney. I don't want to hear that crap. We all did it. So there is no they. It's us. It's we. It's us. We were the reason why we didn't let it come out. Every one of us pushed it away, shunned it away, because it didn't have the right vibe to begin with. But if somebody came to you with the right vibe, we're going, oh, what? So that was just an experience. That was that age. We're supposed to have that experience of the not knowing and lose our way.
It is a bit weird though, Claudio, because we're now, I mean, maybe we won't like this so much in the 50s and 60s. There's something very quickly I want to say at the end of this hangout to you, by the way.
Okay.
We sort of talked about it. Let's say one word, because you said not to call her a queen. But we're in a society that doesn't want you to get in touch with itself, doesn't want you to be responsible for yourself, doesn't want to learn, wants to use anything and everything. I mean, like for instance, in this this COVID thing, none of the hypochondriacs went to the hospital. We've turned into hypochondriacs. Instead of sorting ourselves out, we're always, I'll go to a counsellor. Oh, I'll go and get that medication. Oh, I'll take those drugs.
Yeah.
They're all trying to, what's the word? They all cloud up your judgment. Don't connect yourself. And then we wonder why nothing's working in our life.
Right. But again, just know that it's different now. It's like everybody's waiting for the savior to come back. Well, the savior is us, and it's our yin, our connected yin, a collective consciousness. We are going to save ourselves now. When we have the knowledge and understanding that that's what's happening in the sky right now, with all the backing you need, it's invigorating. So one day at a time.
That's per usual, Claudio. You always give us masses of information, so it's probably a good time to stop, because too much information, don't go in.
Right. I get it.
Oh no, it's perfect. We've been going for over an hour now.
Oh, really?
So
okay. Wow, that's fast.
It did. It went very fast, didn't it, Claudio?
Yeah. Well, I tried to throw a couple of pictures up so it's not as boring just hearing voices. So.
Yeah, but I thank you so much for your time. Everybody's where they're supposed to be. Hopefully a lot of people are going through the change, and just be honest with yourself. It's the biggest thing you can do, is just be honest with yourself.
See,
Claudio.
Absolutely, 100%. So yeah, hang in there, ask questions, reach out. It's what we all love to do.
Yeah, and also they can come to your channel and watch your videos about more of it.
Sure, whatever. I'm on Facebook. You can contact me anyway if you never need a lift.
Brilliant. Claudio, thank you so much for your time for this hangout. Claudio, and to the chat room.